Hey everyone, so for today's video, I'm doing a favorites video, and I realized looking back on my channel that I have never done just like a classic favorites video. I usually do a lot of like product roundup videos on my channel, which I love doing those, but I was kind of surprised that I had never done just a classic what I'm loving kind of video. So that's what this video is all about. I'm going to be sharing with you all of the little items that I've been enjoying. And definitely let me know down below if you like these videos, if you want to see me do them more often. So if you enjoy the video, definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you like me, I would love to have you back. So make sure to subscribe as well. This lipstick in particular was a lipstick that I often saw on my grandmother's vanity. And I just thought, like, you know, one day I will have a lipstick that is that beautiful and feels that luxe. And those were the Chanel Rouge Hydrating lipsticks. I realized recently that I have tried a lot of luxury brands, but I never really gave Chanel a try. So I placed an order and I've been trying out a bunch of their products. I have a lot of their products on my face today as well. I'll make sure to link everything down below. But this was definitely a love at first swipe kind of product. The formula just has such a perfect balance, and now I understand why this has kind of been a cult product for so long, because the formula is incredibly comfortable on the lips. I find myself forgetting that I have it on the lips, but I also always feel like my lips are hydrated when the product is on. But it looks like a lipstick. It doesn't look like a balm kind of product. There's definitely more pigment to it. I find that the colors are incredibly well thought out, and color for me is really important with lip products. I have two different colors. I went with more kind of like rosy mauve colors because those are definitely colors that I find look nice on my skin tone. So I am wearing the shade Mademoiselle today. What a perfect kind of rose nude shade. I knew I would really like this color. The first one that I bought though was Suzanne, and this is a little bit of a deeper kind of mauve color, and it is just the most elegant looking lipstick. I can't explain it, but when it's on my lips, I can look and tell that it's luxe. And there are certainly some lip products where you're like, that could be drugstore, that could be high-end, I don't know, it's kind of indistinguishable. This formula looks very luxe and hydrating, pillowy, just really beautiful on the lips. It's somehow lightweight, but also nourishing. The color isn't too saturated with pigment, but it's also not lacking in pigment. Actually, oftentimes when I'm at home and I film and I put on a lipstick, when I get off camera, I usually just take it off. But something I noticed immediately when I'm wearing this is I never feel that urge to take it off. It wears so comfortably. It wears also really well, like it fades very evenly on the lips. I just feel like this is such a perfect everyday lipstick. I seriously wouldn't change a thing about the formula. It has just a beautiful, soft and pillowy look once it's on the lips. It's more of like a satin finish, and that satin finish really fades really nicely over time as well. So yeah, I just am a big fan. So the next favorite I have is actually a duo from Pyeongchang Yol. I always have trouble pronouncing that, but it is their deep cleansing oil as well as their low pH Pore deep cleansing foam. This portion of the video is sponsored by them, so thank you so much to Pyeongchang Yol. I often notice, because I have dry skin, I'm using a lot of rich and emollient products to make sure that my skin barrier is functioning properly. But in turn, I do find that sometimes the pores on my nose get a little bit more clogged than they should be, just because I'm trying to keep that moisture in. This duo is incredibly gentle, and the main thing that I've noticed from using this is that my pores are just looking a lot lot better. I don't even really like to use a lot of BHAs to cleanse out my pores either because I can just find that it's a little bit irritating. This duo for cleansing has definitely made a difference in my skin's texture and those pores on my nose, all while still being gentle, which is very, very important to me. Their deep cleansing oil is by far the best cleansing oil that I have used. I find that some cleansing oils almost kind of strip the skin in a bizarre way, or they leave behind kind of like an awkward film. This one does an incredible job at getting off every stitch of makeup while still feeling nice and moisturizing on the skin. It has jojoba oil as well as sunflower seed oil. The actual oil texture is probably like a light to medium weight oil. It doesn't feel really greasy on the skin. It's just one of those really easy cleansing products. It also has Centella asiatica, so it's going to help kind of calm the skin as well. As for the low pH Pore Deep Cleansing Foam, this is a foam cleanser. It's a little bit more rich and creamy, but it also does have hyaluronic acid, which I really like. I always find that hyaluronic acid helps to kind of plump up the skin a little bit. I would say this does a really good job at kind of making sure that my skin's texture is a little bit more smooth. I do find that it has like a slight exfoliating quality. It's nothing that you notice right away, but as I've continued to use this, I just notice that my skin's texture is just looking a lot better. But I feel like this has balanced out my skin, and in general I'm just really happy with the quality of my skin right now. Gentle but also effective. I first heard about Pyeongchang Yol from GotToBeGlue and I tried out their toner, and I hadn't tried out anything since then, but I'm very, very, very glad that I did. The products are affordable and effective. The next favorite that I have is a very interesting one. It is the GotToBeGlued Ultra Glued Invincible Styling Gel. So you're probably wondering, I mean, what are you using that for? Well, my friend on Instagram, Emily, I'll leave her Instagram down below. It's Glitter Goblin. I love her looks, and she's a very sweet person, but I was seeing her in a lot of her tutorials use this as a brow gel. Me personally, I've talked about on my channel before, I am a clear pomade person, or so I thought I was, because a lot of eyebrow gels just felt like hairspray-y in my brows, and I just felt like the texture was a little bit off. But I'm also someone with a little bit of a fluffier brow, and my boyfriend had this, so I figured one day I'm gonna give it a shot and try this out in my brows, and I am so glad that I did. Number one, you get so much product. Even this is like the mini size, and this would last you such a long time because you really don't need that much. This makes this really affordable. But what I really like about this is just the general hold of the product and how it's not a wet looking hold. It's not shiny. So it still is very matte in the brows, and it makes the brows look really fluffy, but it also has that really nice hold. So if I want my brows to have a longer hold, this is definitely one that I will be reaching for. So what I do is fill in my brows. I know some people do this the opposite way, but I like to fill in my brows first, and then I just take a spoolie, I put a little bit of the gel on the back of my hand, and then I spoolie the gel into my brows. Again, you really don't need much of this whatsoever. Being that I'm someone with just a general fluffy brow, I also really appreciate the way that this shapes the brows. Like, I can place individual hairs exactly where I want them, and that's something that people really enjoy about soap brows as well. I have just found that soap brows don't look good on me for some reason. Maybe I just can't get it right, but I just find that I never get the look that I am looking for. But this I just find to be much easier to get right. There's a little bit less of a learning curve. And if you are someone with longer brow hairs, I personally like a longer brow hair. I know some people don't like that. I certainly get comments. I just like something that isn't so perfectly manicured. This does a good job at giving me the shape that I want without it looking overly graphic, overly manicured. What a hidden gem. This one, complete credit goes to Emily, and my boyfriend will probably be wondering where this went. It's in my makeup bag now. The next product is something that I tried out in a recent video. It was my trying new products video. It is the Heaven's Glow Venetian Rose blush from M Cosmetics. So I already talked about this formula in that video, but it's just this really pretty kind of luminous baked formula. And I am someone that uses cream blush a lot. I typically go for a cream blush. So when I find a powder blush that I just find to be really pretty on the skin, I definitely take note. I like this even more than the Faded Clementine shade, which I thought a shade could not be even more perfect, but this one just gives me the perfect rosy cheek look. It's what I'm wearing today, and it just has a beautiful softness and luminosity to it, but there's actually quite a bit of pigment in here, so if you are someone that likes that big blush pop, then this will absolutely give that to you. I just took it onto my cheeks, over the bridge of my nose, and then onto the other cheek. I feel like I've just been out in the sun a little bit. I mean, no one is really out in the sun. No one's even leaving their house right now, but I just find that it gives me such a healthy blush look because this also has quite a bit of pigment. It lasts a little bit longer, and because this is a baked formula, it's thinner, so it doesn't look like a heavy blush on the skin. Some powder blushes can kind of sit on top of the skin sometimes. Easy to build up or to sheer out if you just want to do more of a sheer blush look, but I think that this shade is just really special. It's not even just a true rose shade. It's just a slight touch of peachiness that's really beautiful. And also there's not a lot of shimmer to this product either. Some more luminous baked blushes I find just have more of a shift or a shimmer. This does not look like traceable glitter once it's applied on the skin. You can't really see that. It just translates as a more luminous look. So very much a fan of this one, even more so than Faded Clementine. This is definitely a hit for me. Now this is a product that I have really been enjoying. It was kind of just an impulse purchase. It's from Native. It's their body wash. It is their cucumber mint scent. So I am a huge fan of like a mint body wash. I like that it feels nice and invigorating, but I kind of thought that a cucumber mint would be a good combination because it wouldn't be like too cold on your skin. This smells incredible. It's not an overwhelming smell. It's just a smell that I think everyone will like. It's not like, you know, pina colada cupcake in a venti Starbucks cup. It's just very fresh. And also the actual formula of the body wash is really good. It lathers really well and it feels really silky on the skin, but it's not drying at all. And this does a really good job at cleansing while also keeping the skin feeling hydrated. There was another one that I was thinking about getting. It was one of the more warmer scents, and I think I'm probably gonna go back and purchase it. I would never even think to talk about my body wash in a video on my channel, but this one has really stood out to me, so I figured I would mention it. The last favorite I have is not super sexy, but you know what? I think the true favorites in our makeup arsenal are not always sexy. They're really the dependable kind of workhorse products, and this brush from Rare Beauty certainly is. I honestly kind of forget the name of it. It's their cream shadow brush. I'll leave it down below. This is the brush that they sent over to me with all of their liquid shadows. When I started applying their shadows with this brush, I was like, wow, this brush is applying these really, really perfectly. And I decided to try this out with some of my other cream shadows. And then I just realized, I was like, this is maybe the best cream shadow brush that I've used. I also really love this one from Sephora, the Pro Shadow 18 brush. This one is good for more detail work, but if you are looking for just a shadow brush to swipe a cream shadow onto the lids and be done, this one definitely is the best that I found. So what's really interesting about it is that it was created to kind of mimic the finger. So you hear a lot of people, whether they have nails or for whatever reason, they don't like to apply shadows with a finger. I'm a big fan of applying cream shadows with a finger, but maybe sometimes you don't want to or can't. So having a brush that mimics the fingertip is so smart. And I just find that it applies product so evenly. It picks up enough pigment as well. It doesn't kind of move the pigment all around, but you can also kind of angle it to get more of a sharp line on the outer corner or wherever you want to blend. So the shape I just find to be really smart as a whole. I really could not be happier with the way that it actually applies the shadow as well. This makes me want to try their foundation brush as well, because that one has a similar shape. Obviously it's bigger. It's more of kind of like a diamond shape. There are so many brands that come out with brushes with a makeup collection and, you know, people kind of forget about the brushes, you know, or forget about the sponges. This is incredible. So now I kind of want to try out some of their other brush products, and I've been getting a ton of use out of this. And yeah, so those are the products that I've been loving recently. Thank you again to Pyeongchang Yol for sponsoring a portion of today's video. And thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below, what are some of the favorites that you have been loving on recently? I would love to know if you guys want to see more of these kind of favorite product roundups as well, especially because some of these products don't really fit into my typical roundup videos. So I hope you guys are having a good one, and I will see you in my next one.